Hi and welcome to today's Morning Report. Transfers on Monday the 19th of September with me, Richard Perrin, market analyst at Hantec Markets. We've got a fairly positive open on the European markets, but that basically is coming on the back of a weaker day on Friday, a weaker session on Friday in the European markets. We had a significant or sizable sell-off into the close, and that's basically just being unwound today because we had that dollar strength on the back of the CPI data, a stronger dollar, or anything that sort of points towards potential for rate hikes has tended to be seen as equities negative, and subsequently that's why we saw the sell-off on Friday. We saw Wall Street low, we saw European markets low, but that move is unwinding this morning. We've seen the dollar having rebounded. Show you the dollar having sort of corrected back from that strength that we saw on Friday. And it's interesting that because we're starting to see a bit of consolidation, I think, ahead of what are going to be the big risk events of the week. And the Fed and the Bank of Japan on Wednesday are two massive high-risk events for these markets. So I don't think we're going to get too much positioning ahead of that. Now, the oil price has also bounced as well. That's helped equity market sentiment. We've seen the fact that the exports in Libya are just coming under pressure again because of local sort of disruptions there, and it certainly looks like the oil price could also be supported by the fact that again the Venezuelan oil minister is talking about the possibility of sort of production agreements through the OPEC and non-OPEC meeting, and that sort of has been a driver of the market in the oil price for a while, and so this sort of return of this positive sentiment around that has helped to support the oil price today, and that has filtered through into the equity markets. But generally speaking, the dollar is slightly weaker today, pretty much across all the forex majors, apart from the euro, which is fairly flat now, or the euro has unwound back towards flat, although sterling has unwound significantly. Sterling has bounced significantly today after a real big sell-off on Friday. And pretty much across all the FX majors, the dollar is weaker. But as I said, I expect that to sort of settle as the week goes on. Now, there's not anything really to get too worked up about today. The NAHB Housing Market Index at 3 o'clock pretty much is the only thing on the agenda of the economic announcements. And again, that's expected to stick at 60. Which is basically flat where it's been for the last few months. So nothing doing really there on the economic data front. So I can't imagine you're going to get too much of a trend in terms of further than what we've got already. So that takes me to my chart today, which is the euro yen. Now, euro yen has been sort of in this sort of triangle, I suppose you could argue, in the last few months, whereby you've got this rising lower trend but also falling upper trend. So that's sort of coming towards the apex of that triangle. To be honest, it's on pure technicals, the breakout should have happened way probably a couple of weeks ago, but because I suppose you could argue that naturally as you continue to consolidate you're going to get an eventual breakout from the apex. But anyway, still we are seeing a move back down below the 113.80 level, which was that reaction low from September, and we've sort of broken below that now. So that takes us to a sort of 3-week low on euro yen, and you can see that the momentum indicators are certainly confirming that that move is being seen, with the RSI falling away towards 40. 40 seems to be a bit of a limit, isn't it, in the last sort of couple of months on the RSI. So if you start to see the RSI sitting sort of confirming a move below 40, then that could be suggestive of the return to bear control. But also the stochastics are falling away, having bear kissed and falling back, and the MACD lines are beginning to turn low as well. So you are seeing sort of a bit more traction today, interestingly enough, in front of the big BOJ decision later on in the week, and to a certain extent you could argue that this is fairly surprising that we're seeing this breakdown, but certainly is a breakdown that we are currently seeing on the charts. And that break below 1380 means that there's now sort of a resistance band between 1380 and 1460. 1460 is sort of acted as a bit of a near-term pivot line actually through this trade. You can see several times markets come back towards that to find support, ultimately breaking through it, but certainly finding support and resistance on that level several times in the last few weeks. So 1380 to 1460 is a key sort of 80 pip worth of resistance there. And the move has just gone slightly overstretched, and it's just starting to sort of think about unwinding a bit. But you look at these stochastics, for example, mildly positive divergence there. But again, I would say that for now you'd be seeing this big resistance band, I think, as the limit to any rebound, 1380 to 1460. And I think if you saw another sell signal in that, then that would probably be pounced upon. But to be honest, the market may well start to settle down ahead of the BOJ on Wednesday anyway. So it's likely to be that we're not going to get too much in terms of direction. But for now, we are certainly seeing this sort of move to the downside today, and you can see a sequence of lower highs and lower lows, and arguably selling into strength. So just bear that in mind as you do your short-term trading on Euro Yen. But the big caveat is at the BOJ on Wednesday. Now the breakdown below this 1380 level has reopened these sort of supports from August, 1230 up towards sort of, you could argue, 1275 area. So a big sort of, I don't know, 50 or so pips worth of support there. That it's not a million miles away from. So again, that would be possibly a level at which we're going to start to find a natural low anyway. So that's all to be considered today, and I wish you good luck in your trading on Euro Yen, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.